Hi, my name is Jonathan Torres, and I will be introducing my feature, which is the Ricochet wall. Um, in this feature, all the player will hit a wall and then move in the opposite direction that they were going, or in a different direction, I should say. If you hit this tile that's pointing to the left, you would go that direction, and then down, and so on. If you take out these grass, the darker tiles, and make them a slide tile, the player will end up in a infinite loop as they hit every tile, every bumper or ricochet wall. And I found this to be actually pretty simple to implement. I took inspiration from the slide tile, which had the player call the blueprint called the event on entered. You just make a variable for player and for previous tile like is shown, and then instead of hooking up tile as neighbor to the previous tile, which in this case, if you enter this tile from here, this would be the previous tile, and so the code would over here would just send you over to the other side. And since I want my player to actually go to the right in this situation, I would have to find the actual the opposite tile, and so I would have to go through the neighbors array, find the left tile or left direction, and then on the other side I would pull out the opposite direction of that, and then I would move the player towards that tile. It's very simple. At first, I thought it would be a lot harder to implement in code, but after looking at the slide tile, it kind of made sense. And so now, when you land on this tile, it assumes that this tile is the previous tile, or the neighbor tile, I should say. And so it sends you this direction. And since this is a slide tile, it'll just keep sending you over until you hit this one, which then says you came from this direction, so it'll send you forward. And I just had to do that for each of the ricochet walls, and just find the direction that I wanted opposite of. I didn't do anything really with in the viewport other than just add a cube and shape it the way I wanted. I found that this was the easiest way, since I'm not artistic. I found this was the easiest way to kind of explain through visual cues what would happen. And I made it tall enough so that when you put the ricochet wall next to a regular wall, that you, as the player, would be able to see it while playing the game. Because I found when it was smaller, if it was next to a wall, you wouldn't know what was going on and you'd just be hit in the opposite direction. Other than that, I added a health bar and a little quest or goal objective for the UI, and even though that was not my initial goal as a feature, this feature was pretty simple in itself that I had enough time to implement a simple health bar and just hook it up for that it start at 100. It would divide by 100, and then when it was less than 50%, it would change from green to red color, and then in the in the game mode, I called it and added it to the viewport so it can be seen. And then all that was needed was for the player to take damage when the player enters like a damage tile. It would take 25 damage from the max health. It would subtract 25, reset that health, and then update the health of the player on the UI. And if it was less than 25, it would restart the level. And as an example, I made a little bit of a little level to kind of show that in an action. And so here you have the player and the ricochet walls that work, and then the player loses health when they land on the message tile and will continue to lose health and then die and be reset. And so the player would have to figure out the little puzzle to get out of here without losing health, like the objective asks. And then once they reach the goal, the level starts over. Thank you, and goodbye.